guess. Suddenly, it's a lot of people here now.
I remember this area. A lot of bases that they people use for this. Even way back then.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the first time I've ever been in this world, and there's like more than just me, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Damn. This is the first time I've ever been to this world.
I've been to at least 5 different variations of this world since 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah, the music's different.
Okay.
music's different, the background is different, but the layout is 99% the same. It's just the background is on the outside. Yeah, very, very similar. They haven't changed much. This is the original.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go like, you know.
Become a part of the greater, become, merge with Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't know.
Yeah, once Star Wars starts doing merges like Dragon Ball, that'll be the day. Obi-Wan does what is it called when they merge in Dragon Ball?
I don't know.
Yeah, Fusion Ha. Fusion Ha! Once Obi-Wan merges with like yes,
Anakin.
yeah, Anakin or yeah, Vader, or he has to like merge with Darth Maul or something like that. I mean,
Oh my god, that would have...
just that would only be if like things got ridiculous, you know what I mean? And they could like do like crazy things or something. Right?
So stupid.
Fusion Ha! Speaking, can any of you do a Kamehameha?
No. I haven't even watched Dragon Ball, I'm not gonna lie.
No. Well, can you do like can you like
It's been a while since I did a Kamehameha, but holy shit.
can you do like a can you do like a break a rock with your hand? That's like basic kung fu, you know? Just like taking like a big boulder.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah, basic kung fu. Just like taking like a big boulder and just like chopping it in half with your hand.
No, but I can turn into a cat.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they can't do that in a lot of those shows.
Generic anime shit. Turn into a cat.
He's like, I can change
Generic anime shit.
I can change sex and turn into a lot of things. I mean, if you believe in
Yo, what the hell?
if you believe in God, they say God can do anything, right? It's just your idea of that. You gotta have an idea of that, basically. Give people something to look up to.
We just learn how to control our molecular level, and then we can do whatever we want.
You wanna hear something kind of funny that I've never heard anyone say before?
What?
Is God made of atoms?
It's not even made of atoms. It's made out of atoms.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Actually, if you say that, you wanna know, you could almost say God is like the gluons between all the space of atoms or something.
Also,
But the thing is, we don't know what a fifth dimensional being would be. I would assume God is somewhere there or even beyond that. Maybe like a 10th dimensional being.
Yeah, I like tried to do some physical experiment a while back, and eventually I just said like, you can do things on one dimension that are very complex. It's just like everything has to eventually relate to one dimension, right? No matter how many dimensions it goes to. So if you can't actually do something complicated on one dimension, then you'll probably never make it to like later dimensions. So like rather than trying to like express something in like a higher dimension, you're just better off expressing it in like a lower dimension.
I mean, if you think about it, it's possible that a higher dimension than ours could be like, looking at our dimension and we can't even see them because they're in a dimension we can't perceive.
Yeah, but I think eventually you can just represent things in like basic ideas, which is just like there's reality and then there's imagination. Every like higher dimension might just be imagination, and then everything that's like within your control is reality. It's almost better just to say it like that rather than like. I think that's actually probably like real humility. You know what I mean? Like just the ability to say like, oh yeah, it's just.
One thing I learned not too long ago is that when our solar system was formed, we actually had a twin planet that was orbiting together with Earth around the sun called Theia.
I think I've heard something similar to that before.
Yeah, and essentially what happened is, it was either Saturn or Venus that pulled on the gravitational pull, causing Theia to crash into Earth, essentially evaporating itself, merging its core with Earth's core, and at the same time creating the moon by debris that the Earth didn't reabsorb.
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of interesting theories about space, especially like they talk about, I don't know, like a ninth planet and things like that. I have kind of a see, I have weird theories, but they're stupid at the same time.
Oh no, I get that, but the ninth planet theory is highly possible, surprisingly enough, like from what science show.
Yeah, you want to hear like how I'm like. Go ahead. I was just gonna say, you want to hear how I'm like weird, but like it's like stupid at the same time?
Sure.
So you just say that like what the solar system just represents the transition of ideas basically, and what you get to Pluto, and it's like the idea of malleability, which is like Plato, and that's just the expression of newness. That's why like you use plutonium in like a nuclear bomb. So everything that, and then it just goes in just one giant cycle back to the sun. And then everything outside of that is just the idea of chaos. I don't know if that like makes things more comfortable or not, but see, it's like strange, but it's like really stupid at the same time.
You know how once in a while you can see some of the other planets in the solar system with the naked eyes? I wonder how that was for the people like,
yeah, I think
like 1,000 or 2,000 years ago.
I think Venus.
In the sky.
I think Venus is probably one of the easiest ones to see for sure. Jupiter passed by.
I think at one point, yeah.
Yeah, Jupiter passed by like a little bit ago.
You're a kitty cat. You're like the cute kitty cat I'm stroking. Yes. Yeah, I'm that evil guy that sits in a chair, and then I have you on my lap and just strokes you.
You actually want to hear? Go ahead, talk to the lady.
Petting, yeah. Less sus way petting. There we go.
Oh, it's like there. Hi, I didn't see you there. I just alt tap and I was on my phone for that.
I'll tell you another, and I actually had this theory today. I'm surprised I remembered it while I was just laying down, like meditating for like 5 hours, basically.
Exit.
I see. Go ahead.
All right, so you ever heard of like the idea of like third planet from the sun? That's called the habitable zone.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that in all honesty, all that represents is basically like an age. Like all habitation just really represents as an age, your ability to say that you actually live for a purpose. Purpose resides somewhere in between extremes, okay? But to say that life itself isn't necessarily devoid in like all, I guess, stretches of space, I think is kind of like I don't know, not necessarily the truest thing to say, because all you have to do is look back to childhood, and it's like you were comfortable with everything almost. It was just like whatever happened, it was like you were comfortable with. So it's like there's like from the sun to Pluto is like just age. And then the third rock from the sun is just the idea that it's like you actually really do exist for a reason.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the crazy part about me, like that I think about, is that, like, it's all proven that when we are actually space traveling, we are time traveling, and that's so weird to think about. Like,
yeah,
it works in mysterious way, but I guess that's just how it works.
yeah. Here's another thing for you. You can either be like the pen, or you can like use the pen. The pen is like continually spinning. A pen is actually one of the closest things like to an atom. It's just like a little pole. But it's like within that is contained the idea of how almost everything works, because it's like with that you can use that to express almost every idea.
The thing is, with science about the habitable zone, I'm thinking, okay, if we're thinking about that as like possible for life, it's because that's all we know life to be, you know?
Yeah,
We
sure.
are creatures born in the habitable zone.
You don't know what you
But
don't know.
completely, exactly. Who knows? Maybe one day we find like a volcano planet with like full of life and a civilization and stuff, and that would just, ru- that would be, yeah. We, you don't know what could happen. It's the same thing with, we don't know why the Earth, for example, has self-regenerative properties for like that has been seen lately as well.
Yeah.
How Earth functions.
They say that the majority of Earth's resources are renewable, everything but helium. They say that helium is probably the only non-renewable resource that Earth actually has. I'll tell you something else kind of interesting though. If you do go somewhere, like who knows, maybe there are like greater habitable zones, but that all comes with skill. That's like all Star Trek stuff, like the idea of like the prime directive. Like you can't interfere with somebody's like own advancement, you know? Which is just like
But I'm gonna be honest, Star Trek is probably the far-fetchest if we ever become a like a species. I don't know if you ever played Endless Space or seen Warhammer and stuff. Like, we
Warhammer.
will end up like that. I mean, we will end up like a space species like that. We will be aggressive and territorial. That's just how humans are in nature, and we see it nowadays every single day. We will not be a peaceful species if we make it to space, and I have nothing against that.
Yeah, well that's probably just like I mean, what do you associate with more, physics or psychology? If you associate with psychology, you believe in the power of almost creativity, which is just like anything can be anything. That's almost like this game. You can change into a cat. That's like psychology. That's like Zeus. That's like Zeus, like transporting all over the place and turning into eagles and foxes and whatever else, dogs even, or wolves. And then you have Plato, which says like things are actually consistent. And then see the irony is that it's just like, well, be careful what you wish for kind of thing. Like, I don't know, maybe one travels off in space, but then maybe like they're more alone. Like that almost sounds true. Like, yeah, what, you go off into space, maybe you are actually more alone. You got space, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can sound weird, but it's like stupid at the same time, which doesn't really make it sound crazy because it's just like dumb. Like saying like, oh yeah, you can really probably go out there, but if you come back, is it actually all the same in the end? That's why they say like if you go somewhere, don't look back. There's stories about all this stuff in like most literature. Like if you read the Bible, they say like, oh, and Lot, they left like basically like the Holy Land or whatever, and Lot's wife like looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just
There's
like
never been a question. Yeah.
that's
There's
just
never
like
been a question if we're gonna make it as a species, like that we're gonna evolve beyond our solar system. That's never been a doubt in anyone's mind. What people have doubted about is that are we gonna do it before our planet dies? Because it's gonna die eventually.
Yeah, but you can talk about like death in general. You know what I mean? Like, do you just fear death in general rather than talking about like the greater idea of destruction as a whole?
Yeah.
It almost sounds like it should be peaceful, doesn't it? You can put an irony with that. It's just like what? Well, that doesn't that sound peaceful?
One problem I have though is that we have so many different countries on this planet, right? The problem is if we go to space before uniting as like a giant ass country over the entire globe, we're gonna end up fighting each other over dominance in space, and that wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah, you just gotta have a good core, bro. You gotta have a good core. Like, here's what I say: anything that's above you, be smart. Anything that's below you, be above it. And anything that's on equal ground as you, just be competitive. There will always be ways to create treaties between all those spaces.
Yeah. But luckily, we prioritize our own race. So if an alien civilization indeed exists, you've seen all these movies where they attack us, and the movies where we try to be friendly and stuff. That wouldn't happen. Humans are definitely the race that would shoot first and then ask questions later. That's just how we are.
Humanity.
I mean, you see it how it is with animals as well.
You want to know how you can?
Like some.
I was gonna say you can represent humanity as if you want to. The word human is almost a very tame word. I'll tell you actually a very alien way to say what a human is, which actually does make it competitive in terms of like advanced civilizations in space. Makes it scary. Choice. All humanity is choice. And the idea of choice itself is probably one of the scariest things that there is, because it's just like the idea of like everything basically. That's you can put human beings up against almost anything on this planet if you just, like I said, but this is all up to your ability to use words. And words are the simplest thing that there are, but it's like vibration can affect things realistically just as much as a dream can. But if you can say like, nah, what humans actually are choice. Well, that's all up to you. You know what I mean? Your ability to say like what you want. Do you want to go far? Like, you have to make choices and stick with them.
Of course. I mean, our official name is like official race name sounds so stupid. Homo sapiens. It's like it sounds so gay. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but that's like, again, that's like all your own ability of just like, yeah. Do you want to lead or do you want to follow? Because like, let's be honest, like if you become like a real leader, you can say whatever you want. That's why I said, like, for me, if I'm like on some podium or something like that, not to say something like really stupid or whatever, but like I would just be like, you might as well call humans like Germanus, like I don't know, like Germanus Kisiatus or something, like Chaotesis or something. Like, you want to hear something that sounds really like effed up? Yeah, like let's just change what we call humans. Humans are just Germanus Chaotesis or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not gay.
I mean, it's the same as how, like, it's the same as how scientists have, for example, dubbed their moon's name Luna, or Lunar, but everyone uses the name Moon.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same thing, yeah.
You just gotta, I mean, there are different ways to express things for sure. I mean, if you want things to be timid and want things to be like choice, then maybe Homo sapien. See, I can go back around and I can go back from leading to following. What? I just made that up on the spot. Germanus Chaotesis, but it sounds pretty damn like scientific. But I mean, now after saying that, this is just experience. I can go back to Homo sapiens and say, what if I said that human beings represent choice before? That maybe Homo sapien represents something that's very timid, like it allows everything. And that's like choice. And maybe gay, and then maybe gay just means a circle. It just means that it goes completely all the way around.
Like, okay, so it's one thing. It's a game called Endless Space. I just talked about that, and you can play as humans there. It's a strategy game, and I think it depicts humanity so perfectly well. I'm gonna put it in the video player so you can see. You can see it, right?
All right, yeah, I can see it.
Okay, let's turn up the audio if you need it, but yeah.
All right.
Like this is how I think humanity would be if we ever reach space.
Become a proud and powerful nation. It is time to rise up, grasp our future, and seek our destiny among the stars. Imagine the future that we can build. We shall construct great fleets, send them out to make great discoveries, and through their conquests, secure our place in this rich galaxy. We will discover new sciences and new life. We will greet new peoples and turn them into new patriots. Together,
Patriots,
we shall
aka
leave
slaves.
our mark on history. For together, we can become anything our hearts desire.
Talk about Dominion, bro.
Let us not shy
This is all Dominion space, bro.
away. Is our birthright.
But it is pretty much how we would turn out. We wouldn't try to be friendly with species. We as a human are a proud race, and we will look down on everyone. Like, we have it in history as well, how we look down
Yeah, like I said,
different colors.
it's all a matter of age, I think. And like, do you just believe more in psychology or physics? Because at some point in time, you have to use tools. Okay? Like, you have to use tools, right? I'll tell you a question of like origin. Do things have a spirit? Because if that's the case, then you obviously have to respect some things. Like, I'll tell you what, I'm a pretty hardcore individual. But, like, there's a lot of things I take care of. There's a lot of things I take care of. It's just because if you're gonna go that far into space, and you're gonna use physical things to be able to, like, uphold your space, basically, you have to respect things. And mainly you call them tools, but at the end of the day, maybe guess what? You're old enough, and then all those things take over. Maybe all that stuff just takes you over in the end. Or is that just peace?
Yeah. If it's one thing humanity has learned from, it is failure, and that's probably what would happen as well if we ever become like a space civilization. We probably fail at it, and then we learn from it and do it better.
Yeah. If I was to tell you something, like, if you wanted to grow personally rather than as like a part of a group, you gotta say, instead of like failure, learn from pain. And then if you want to actually be able to navigate through pain, learn from the pen. Right. Get a journal.
Yep.
Get a whiteboard. Get a phone and take pictures, something.
Yeah. Oh, they're eating, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Outside they're eating, so we
I'll-
should be back soon.
I thought he was like telling me not to die or something. Yeah, also that whole thing of like, if this was as like normal as it gets, and you like went somewhere and came back, that whole thing of like not knowing what like alien is, you'd never know if this was like all there was as well. Goes both ways, kind of thing. Did you draw any of these?
No, I just been here, sitting here.
Yeah. Well, it's different. It's nice having a conversation here. Usually I come here and draw. Or I guess you'd call this... Do I what?
No, I guess I said.
And then I actually do... I submit my stuff to this person right here. Kazuno.
Oh.
Yeah, I submit.
Oh,
There's like a Twitter account. I'll like come here and draw and submit my stuff to it.
that's nice.
Yeah. But that video you showed me, you know what that reminds me of actually more than anything?
What?
Is like StarCraft.
Oh,
Have you ever played
that's a
StarCraft?
long-ass time ago.
There's newer
Yeah,
ones.
That's one of the first games I ever played.
There's newer ones if you haven't played
I played
StarCraft 2.
Oh, I played StarCraft 2. Like, that was the game I first got. And I was like, oh, damn. I
Yeah.
remember it
Have you
back in,
played,
like, 2013 and stuff.
Yeah, well, have you played there's an older StarCraft. Have you played StarCraft Brood War?
No, but
You
I
should-
looked at it.
You should try. I mean, it's still, they did a remaster. It's still a good game.
Ooh, maybe I tried once.
Yeah, you should try that. But all that reminded me of is StarCraft 2, and they like have like Dominion, space, and it's all, but that's all like Russian. A lot of that's all Russian stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with, like, of course, this definitely gives us the same vibe, because that's how they want Terran in StarCraft to be perceived as,
Yeah.
like a dominating human race that wants to conquer everything, because that's pretty much how it would be. I think that's how we would start out when we got to space as well. We will try to enslave absolutely everything, and then after a while, we would, you know, come to understand them more and more, and, you know, be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have them as slaves. Kind of like how our own history goes back.
Yeah. Here's an interesting exercise for you. If you're actually interested in like space travel, you should become interested in like rock climbing, because you have to have holds. Like when you rock climb, you have to have holds. Even if you do what's called like free climbing, like you do multiple attempts. Okay? Like for me personally, like there's this one mountain that I've been climbing, like, and I've gone up it a few times, and every time I go up I just get a little bit higher because it's like, but there's certain times when I know I should stop. And like here's an interesting thing about space. Like would you just keep following if you went out there? Or would you try to like name your own systems and planets and things like that? That's an interesting question. Because as soon as you do that, you just become ridiculous. That's what all that is that's like the language of gravity. What you just showed me is almost the language of gravity. Like that's like red cosmonauts. You have astronauts, you have cosmonauts, and you want to hear my other joke? You have astronauts, cosmonauts, and you have carbonauts. Which is just like, those are like gym people. Alright?
Yeah.
But yeah, like...
Oh.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's almost 6 in the morning. I should probably head to bed.
Yeah, for sure. Just a few things for you to think about. Like, I've named a few planets myself. Like, I named one called, like, Regalis XV19. And, like, a couple other things. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, so... But I have a YouTube channel if you want to check it out before you go.
What's the name?
It's called Euphoric Intentions. EUPHORIC space intentions. INTENTIONS.
Okay, let's see. I just get a lot of sitcoms up.
If you like search for that with the YouTube, like if you type YouTube and then type Euphoric Intentions, that should come up as the first thing.
How many subs do you have?
Like 26,000 or something like that, 27,000.
Okay. There we go. Found you.
Cool, yeah.
You have a live stream going on right now.
Mostly I do that for safety purposes, actually. And
That's
then
cool though.
yeah, and then because it's like I've had to like I said, it's like you can see what I look like. Oh, actually no, I have like a So this is some art. Look, I did a dragon. Actually, you can't really see me that well, but I'm like pretending to be like a Catholic father. You know what I mean? But as you can see, I'm like behind a wooden. This is all calligraphy artwork that I did, and I drew a dragon, but it's with like. It's all calligraphy. But as you can see, it's like
Ooh.
green.
Yeah, it's nice though.
Yeah, so I'm just like behind that. But yeah, like, and I don't know, it's just like, I have this whole thing, like, I can't really offend anybody if it's not personal. And if it does get personal, like, I've like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll manage my videos. If it's like people, if I'm dealing with like people realistically, like, yeah, like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like, I don't know, ruin my space. I'm not trying to ruin my space at all. That's for sure. I'm not trying to, you know. So, yeah, you can comment on there, and like I have a whole thing of like VR chat. If you're interested in like, I don't know, this continuing this like conversation of humanity. I have all this in a playlist. Most of my stuff is categorized by playlists, and I have a whole VR chat playlist. And I have a lot of conversations like this, so if you want to like forward that conversation, you can become a part of. You can become a part of that conversation.
I mean, I definitely take a look around your channels later.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, you get back to being you. Don't get.
Yeah, very nice meeting you.
Yeah, for sure. Don't get too lost in space.
I won't.
All right.
You have a good one.
You too. It's kind of cool, actually. I don't want to say anything in world because it's just like, well, that's kind of neat. This one's pretty good too. One other thing I was gonna say is just like, there's a lot of places on Earth you can travel, and it's just like this place of physics then expressing itself. Are you done with that? I like your style. I think that looks cool. I'm not sure what you're saying, if you're saying anything. Oh, you want me to draw? I've avoided drawing this whole time because Sora's over there, and he says he has a thing on his head above his name that says "Don't die." Yeah, see? I've been avoiding drawing this whole time. How come you like fell on the floor like that? Are you okay? Are you alright? You look like you're actually like sitting like you would be if you're meditating. Like a wolf princess or something. But who knows who you really are? Right? Hey, Sora, you want to hear something that I tell everyone that I know? I love you guys, but
Disappeared.
I'm right here. This is what I tell everybody that I know. Yeah, I love you guys, but who are you really? Oh, she's gone. That. Yeah, I love you guys, but who are you? Who are you really? All right, Sora. Well, I think I'm gonna head out. Gonna go wander around.
Have a good night.
Yeah, watch out for like Riku and like Kyrie and Axel and like Sephiroth and stuff and Cloud. All right.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hello? Why not? That's fine. Where we go?
This is nice. Hey, what's up?
Hello there.
Whatever you do, don't be too bad for your own good.
Never.
Yo, what's up? What do you call this place? What do you call this place? Is this like your city?
I mean, sure.
Is this like your hometown?
My city's not this fancy.
That's where you're from?
I mean, it could be, but I don't know.
Are you from a big city like this though, really? This is a pretty big city, actually.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's alright, right?
Oh, it has a pleasure bot. There you go. I mean, that seems like my city.
What? This... Oh, do you think this is Montreal, really?
Yeah, this is
You think this
Montreal.
looks...
Right on the windows.
Montreal? No, I would think this could be like, actually, you ever seen, what is it? Like, Blade Runner? It's almost too light. Yeah, but this is almost too light for Blade Runner, though. Blade Runner is actually set in LA, but it's like there's so much pollution that it's just like stormy all the time. Your eyes are crazy, by the way.
Oh, do I have my hypno eyes on?
Yeah. I would almost call I don't know, Montreal. I've been to Montreal. We're missing like all the Catholic stuff though. If this is Montreal.
The churches.
Yeah, all the church, all the Catholic stuff, all the like bagel shops, all the Jewish stuff.
I don't know, but they're very open about their pleasure time stuff too. It's very half and half. You get the churches, and then you get the sex stores, and the
Yeah.
massage parlors called pussy courts.
Actually, the place that I think is the most open about that is Vegas, Las Vegas.
If I see a sign saying massage parlor with happy endings in Vegas, then you're damn right.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I gotta be beat there.
Las Vegas is probably the most open place for any. Actually, the thing is, like, I don't know. Everyone's usually gonna just like say like everything that they think is like you shouldn't do is either like sex or violence, but Las Vegas just has everything. It's like literally like it doesn't even matter what it is. It's like they have cars, they have shows, they have food, they have hotels, they have it's just everything. But yeah, like I mean they just have everything there.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Macau? This could be like if I was to say like what this place might actually be, I'd probably call this place like Macau. Just because it does have like it's in China, but this does have like Chinese characters
Yeah.
like all over the place.
Chinese.
Yeah, well, a lot of this stuff on VR chat is like all like it's either Chinese or Japanese for whatever reason. Like most of the stuff is. VR chat, I don't know why, but VR chat just has like most of it's all Chinese or Japanese. Yeah, Macau is like it's like a gambling. I guess not a lot of people know about it. You probably only know if you know. But Macau is like I think it might actually be even bigger than Las Vegas. But it's in China. It's a huge gambling city. Here's like the three Sin City capitals of the world, from like west to east. You have Las Vegas. Yeah, you have Las Vegas, you have Dubai, and then you have Macau.
People live there. Only 600,000 people live there.
Yeah, probably because it's like mostly just businesses, I would think. Same thing with Las Vegas. Like a lot of people don't live in Las Vegas either. Really.
It says it's 3 million for Las Vegas, though. That's crazy.
Really? Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas doesn't really have that much housing, like, in Vegas, really. Mostly it's all, like, It's all business. Or is it? Conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy, chai tea.
So everything is a conspiracy if you really think hard enough about it.
Oh yeah, super.
It's like pretty.
What, Macau? Yeah, well, it's like China. It's like China's like, I don't know. If you're going there as like a high roller, basically probably just like a spoiled. If you're like spoiled, that's probably where you go in China is like Macau.
Yeah, it looks like all casinos. Mainly casinos.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about that unless you've probably like traveled a lot. Anyways, how's your night going?
Pretty good, pretty good. You just roll top it.
Yeah, are you just chill, just talking, or are you trying to get out of here?
I mean, both of them is pretty fun, but my friend left here, so I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, that one dude was your friend, that guy whose name was Badman or whatever.
Yeah.
It's an interesting unicorn on your shirt.
Oh, thank you. I put that on my shirt.
Did you draw that?
Nah, I took it off Google Images.
Still is interesting.
Thank you. It's from a movie called The Last Unicorn.
Oh, I actually know that movie. That movie's trippy. That movie is weird, in my opinion.
My favorite movie.
Really? Yeah, I don't think a lot of people have seen that one, to be honest with you. That one's kind of like a know your film show.
Yeah, but it's really creepy. It definitely is if you're a kid watching. But if you're like grown, it's pretty tame.
Yeah, well, there's like a guy and he's like hunting all the unicorns or whatever,
Yeah, he's pushing
right?
the sea.
Yeah. You want to actually hear something kind of interesting? Why I watched that? I made this like unicorn horn
Oh, that?
just for like fun. Yeah, it actually turned out. It was like out of pasta. So I like took like a whole bag of flour, right? And I mixed it with like a bucket of eggs. Okay, so I only used the egg yolks. I separated out all the whites, right? And so you use that as your liquid for all the flour. You ever made pasta before? Just with like flour and water, right? So it's just like egg noodle pasta, right? But this is what you do to like make like a unicorn horn, and it's like actually super good. So like or this is what I did. Okay? So like you take your pasta and you just have to have a big table, like a big clean space. And you mix it with like a bunch of egg yolk to get your until you get the right texture, consistency, right? You roll that out and then go and start a fire. This is the hardest part because it's probably too big to fit in any oven or anything like that, right? Like mine was, at least. Mine was way too big to fit in, like on any, yeah, on like any cooking thing, it was way too big. No, this was like 10 feet. It was like a 10-foot horn. All made out of pasta by hand. And so I took that and I went, and then what I did is I made a I guess you would call it like a skeleton. I made a skeleton for it, okay? Out of like wood. And things like that. I hand wove like a bunch of wood and I made a skeleton. And then I started a fire and I went and smoked it over a fire for like 3 hours. And then that hardened it and cooked it all the way. And then what I did is to make it like unicorny, I took like powdered sugar and I just mixed that with like water and like food coloring. And then the whole thing was twisted like a unicorn horn. And so I just painted the whole thing like up like with all the frosting, like the colored frosting that I made. And it was like a rainbow unicorn horn. 10 foot long, made out of pasta.
Pretty.
Yeah, I had it for like, Yeah, I had it above my bed for like 3 years. I just like it looked like a giant. It looked like a what it really looked like is like a giant narwhal, if you know what a narwhal is.
Yeah.
Because they're the only animals that really actually get like a giant horn like that in reality. But I mean, it looked real. Like it looked just straight up real. So it was like you'd think it was like a narwhal horn or something. And then I was just like, I felt like I wanted to change my room. But it was like just like preserved. It was like preserved because I smoked it over a fire for like 3 hours or whatever, and so it was like all preserved. And then I cooked it, just as pasta. One day I just like but I ate it over probably like a week, and I just like
You ate it still?
yeah, it was. I mean, that's how they preserve. That's how they preserve pasta. The sugar. It was like. I mean, that was just like a painting on the outside. I just used like marinara pasta sauce. Yeah, like it was like I mean, yeah, it was like preserved dried pasta, which is how they do pasta in real life. And pasta basically can last forever if it doesn't get bugs, really. The only problem that you have with like storing wheat and pasta is just if you get bugs. But yeah, no, like I went and I just like broke it into like a bunch of pieces and boiled it in water and cooked it and added like just marinara sauce, and it was really good. it was really good actually. Kind of funny, huh? There's like your random story from someone you just never met, but it's just like this guy who made like a giant unicorn horn out of pasta and had it like above his bed as decoration for like 3 years.
No, that's so cool. That's literally so cool. And the fact that you committed to eating it after you like.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about it. I was like, is this? But no, it was good. I definitely like ate way worse things. It was like actually passable as good pasta for sure. So it was just like really thick. You know what I mean? Like it was like just cook it, but it just tasted like homemade noodles.
Yeah, that's super cool though.
I have a YouTube channel if you want to check it out.
I'm down. Do you have a
We're
link?
doing a thing.
It's called Euphoric Intentions. EUPHORIC space intentions. INTENTIONS.
Chat.
Yep, that's my like opening. That's like my I don't know, my welcoming video or whatever. That's the most professional one. I had somebody like use like a full Hollywood camera setup for that one, just because it was like somebody I knew and he had like all the equipment. So I was like, hey, do you want to do like help me out with like a video? We like went to like this grand hotel and like you had like cameras on a track and everything like that. That's like that's probably my most expensive video, if I had to say, like that one. Definitely like, I don't know, that's like Hollywood. There's like, they use like Hollywood cameras for that, but it's just because it was like a guy that I knew and he like had the cameras, so.
Well, some people these days on like TikTok use like keyboards and stuff. That was cool as well.
Yeah, I mean, what I use mostly now, like that was like a one-time thing, you know? Like, that was like completely like a one-time thing. Like, what I use mostly now is just like an iPhone, or like I have like a Logitech webcam, or like I have a Canon like camera, you know, that I'll use occasionally or whatever, but
Just whatever's easiest.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm in like a weird kind of like an awkward phase right now. I kind of feel like maybe just in life, you know what I mean? Like what's my next step, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I do my video stuff. I work on like my like morals and ethics more than anything. I don't know, exercise basically. Like most of my day is just like exercising. I just made a sword. If you like click on my community tab or whatever, like today what I did is I like worked on like a hand forged sword. But I'd call it it's like an elephant.
That's
Like-
huge.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, that's like 5 feet. It's like solid steel. It's like not traditional, but the thing is like that thing's pretty damn strong. Like the problem with swords is right around the hilt, they'll usually like always like take a bend or something like that. I thought about it. I was like, but if I leave it like this, like yeah, you got to wear gloves. Actually, you really don't even have to wear gloves with it now because it's like smoothed out enough because I put it in the fire and stuff. But it's just like it won't bend. Like that thing's not gonna bend at like where most swords usually bend. That one's not going to. I did like characters up the whole thing. Yeah, if you like zoomed in on it, all those characters I made up. They're all like original characters up the whole thing. All the artwork up it and stuff. And I named it Frond, like a palm frond, because it looks like a giant palm leaf.
Yeah, oh yeah, I totally see that.
Yeah, especially if I hold it up, you can see that more because it's got like waves in it, like a palm leaf, like something tropical. So
That's really cool.
that's like what I work. That's what I worked on in the last like. Yeah, I went and like I found the steel just like abandoned, and then I went and used like a 10-pound sledgehammer and just like I found like a bunch of metal it was like abandoned, like a junkyard, and I went and like, that was probably the most dangerous part, is like because I'm hitting that thing with like, I don't know, every time I hit it, it's probably a couple thousand pounds of force. Like I'm probably capable of like hitting something with like a 10-pound sledgehammer with like a couple thousand pounds of force. So yeah, like I had to like set it up in like interesting angles and like hit it, and that was dangerous to like get that whole thing like straightened out or whatever. And then I put it in a fire. Yeah, because it's just like if I didn't have it set up right and I hit it, it was just like that thing would like, while I was doing it, it was basically a helicopter blade.
Give me a word, I'll get him out of here.
What? What?
He said something about get him out of here. I don't know what he's talking. I don't know what he's talking about.
Bad. Are you talking about Detour?
Obviously, it probably wasn't.
Talking about?
Obviously, it probably wasn't that important. Otherwise, he probably would have stayed and told you.
They're both
Anyways, I'm just talking.
pretty damn cool though.
Thanks.
Very creative. Far more creative than me, I don't think.
Yeah, well, it's just like work. Basically, just like work. It's like keeps the devil away or whatever, you know. Like everybody just wants to like know what you're doing usually, and it's just like, all right, well, this is what I'm doing, and as long as you're good at what you do, then you can say like, I mean, this is life, right? Hey, this is life, right? Are we considering everything? So if you can make something that looks like it's like living, then basically like that's competitive with like the world. Just like, all right, this is life, isn't it? You just have to know what to say. What I work on more than anything is like my words. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, yeah, like if anyone's like, oh, what are you doing? Like, but you can have like a lot of contradictions with life. What? Like if I say like, where's like the worst places that you can end up? Either you're completely alone or you're completely crowded. Is the funny thing. If you're completely crowded, you can always say something like, hey, what, are we all seeing the same thing? And if you're all seeing the same thing, then it's like, obviously there should be something great there. And if you're completely alone, you can probably say like, well, there's probably something here that like, you know, is personal. And then everything, everything in between, you just say like, I thought this was life. Hey, I thought this was life.
It's just life. It's just like that. It's just the way it is.
You have a mustache on this avatar?
I have a mustache. I got a little gingerbread man.
Yeah, I'm looking
If I
at.
was in VR, you could have a little party favor thing in my hand that does little sparkles.
Cool. Well, anyways, I think I'm gonna go and just do some more jumping around.
Alrighty, well, it was nice chatting.
Yeah, nice talking. Have fun. You can message me if you want. You got any places that you recommend that I should go to? That's cool.
Like worlds?
Yeah, or something.
What's that one? Organism's a good world.
Organism.
It takes like an hour to get through. There's like 3 different organism worlds, and it's like a story if you go through each one.
All right, cool. Yeah, there's got to be more to this place. You just run into it? You just collide with it? Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm just here to prove it. I'm just here to prove it, that's all. Yeah, how do I get out of here then? I wasn't even supposed to figure that out, dude. You run into like a door like that. Only me, I guess. Or is this just the other side? Okay. It's kind of nice music in there for a minute. Some lo-fi beats. Lo-fi beats. All of a sudden, I'm hungry again. All of a sudden, I am hungry again. I should close that. What the? Lol. Funny enough, this is like literally the only time I've seen money in this entire time I've ever played this game, dude. Crisps, huh? Oh, that looks so good right now. That looks so good right now. This is kind of an interesting place. Internet Explorer, huh? What do you got on your screen? Processors? What do you have just processors for? I think it's just up to code. Interesting details. Is this just a bin? Pyongyang. Nice place. I know better than to just touch loose money in most situations. Oh, hey, what's up? Interesting avatar. It's like you could actually be a real gamer. Yo, you are here. How's it going? Let me just vibe with the air. Like, really, there's only one thing to get, and it's with the program. You see, aren't we all just programs, both you and me? Then maybe there's actually something that I could say to the mess, to the idea of May. When it's not May, is May just something that's in the air? Like, May is now a day, or is that May Day if I say it in this way then? Like it's all just chaos, or maybe I'm just a has-been. You know? Messes make more messes until the mess itself is the idea of still. Then maybe there's something that I could take here, then maybe I will. Then maybe that's all there really is to get in this cold, cold world. A chill! Or BD4. What if I called you something like, I'm gonna like name you. I'm gonna name you something like... Actually, that could just be an animation. In which case, I'll just fall back on my proclamation. I don't know why there's like a bunch of water though. Right by this. Talk about saving space, but I think you need to unclog these drains. Wasn't trying to do that, I was trying to click on this stuff. Yo. I guess don't do that. You could just be like Roma. Hello, Roma. Haha. Click, 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 push, 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 browse, 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 browse. Work, 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 work. Alright, I'm out of here. I know, just the way out. I've been here before, actually. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up?
Well, not very many people have been talking, so.
Yeah, it's only my second time here.
Nice.
Start a new instance on this one. Shit.
Don't do it. Whatever you're thinking, don't do it, AoE.
Oh, okay.
I might just stop for the night.